Hi guys, this is Vishal here from Rapcode. So in this video, we will understand how to create a comments or a notes functionality where you have a collection, you have a details page and you want to put comments or you want to put notes, or maybe you want to add some sort of communication for that particular thing. So I'll give you an example. So let's say there's a blog post and you want people to comment on it, right? So or let's say there's a product and someone wants to review the product, like you want more number of reviews for that product, or maybe there's a to-do list or a task and you want to just add notes to this task. So basically there's a parent collection and there are a lot of small description or notes or comments or reviews for that particular parent collection. So let's see how that can be done. So here I have a project, I have an application which is a client portal and it has a number of projects. Each project has task, and a task, there's a details page of the task. And let's say I want to add the capability for someone to basically comment on the task. Okay, so basically they can provide whatever the update about the task and there can be a number of comments. So we should know that who did the comment, and at the same time we should also see the list of all the comments. So let's see how that can be done. So let's say this is a project. I'll go to the details of a project. These are the tasks of the projects. Let's say task for sound button, view details of the task. Let's create one more task. Okay, so let's say a task got created. So these are the tasks. Okay, now if I go to details of the task, I want the capability for person to add comments on the task or basically provide update notes. Okay, so I want to do it here. So let's see how that can be done. So I'll go back to my project. So this is the page which we're talking about. This is a task details page. Okay, so it is a task details page. Now I want to add that capability here. So now a task will have multiple comments or multiple notes. So first we'll need to create a collection and then set up a relationship between the task collection and that collection which will store the data of the comments or notes, right? So what I'll do, so first let's go take a look at the task collection. So task collection is title, due date, description, assigned to client, tags and projects, and basically which project it belongs to. Now let's create one more collection to store that data. Okay, and I'll call that collection as, let's say, task comment. Okay, or let's say task note. So now this collection will have like 2-3 fields. So let's say the first field will be what is the message of that particular node, or let's say description. You can have title, you can have description, you can have both. It's completely up to you what exactly you want to capture. I just want to capture the description. That's all, the text part. Okay, so now we have added a description. Let's add one more field. Now I want to send a parent-child relationship between task and task node. So that a task can have multiple task nodes, right? Or we can also do it with a reference. That is something which I'll cover after this. Okay, so I'll add another field which is a child of. I'll say this task node will be a child of task, so that each task can have multiple nodes, right? I'll say task. Okay, so it is asking me that when you are creating a parent-child relationship, there need to be a field in parent which refers to the child, right? So that we know this is the parent field and this is the child field. So first we will go to the parent collection, which is a task collection, and create a field for child. Okay, so I'll go to the configuration. I'll say has many task nodes, which is a reference type of fields. So task node display, and that's multiple select because a task can have multiple task nodes, right? So that's all task nodes. This is the field. Now I'll go to the child collection, which is the task node, and create a relationship that all these task nodes will belong to some task. Okay, so I'll go back here. I'll say child of. So since we've already created the parent field, so we can choose that this particular task node is a child of that particular task. So basically we'll set the relationship, parent-child relationship. Okay, so I'll say task, which field or task nodes, right? And whatever default date you want to display, I'll say description, and here a text field, or this is not needed. So I'll just select. So we have created a very simple collection which stored the data of those nodes for an individual task, and we have also set a parent-child relationship. So let's go back and see how this works. So if I go and try to add task node, I will need to select the task, that for which particular task I am adding this task node. So if I go and try to add some data, I will need to choose that, okay, this particular task has this task node. Okay, that's fine. So let's go to the page and build the UI. So I'll say task details page, which is my task detail page. Now let's build the UI. So what we'll do, we'll want to display the list of task nodes and then a form to add new task node. Okay, so here let's first display in the form of table. Okay, a data table and a button. So what I'll do, I'll go to my components and drop a data table. In the data table, I don't need all these search bar. Sorry, I think deleted by mistake. In here I'll choose get content from task field. Okay, since this is a task detail page, so I'm seeing an option get content from task field. Which task field? Task node. So this is the field which we have created in the task collection. The task will have several task nodes. So we are seeing this because we have created a parent-child relationship. If we have not created the parent-child relationship, then we will have to fetch all the tasks using the, fetch all the task node using the task ID in the filter. So that is a bit different process where you make a call to filter and say, bring me the task node for this particular task for which I am sending the ID. Okay, so that we will see after this. So I'll say get data of all the task nodes from this particular task. This is it. Let's say save. Okay, let's say I don't need, let's keep edit delete button. This is fine. Okay, this is it. So it will basically display all the task nodes. Okay, I'll say nodes. That's all. Probably I need this button node, so it's completely up to us. We can increase the width and all. Okay, but before that, let's just see how this looks like. So as of now, there are no task nodes. Okay, so let's go and add some task node from the builder. Okay, and then we'll create a form here also. But just for now, I just want to see the data, how it looks like. So this is a task, is scrolled issue in task button. This is the description. So I'll go task node. For which task? This task. Test task node 1. Add one more. Test task node 2 for this particular task. So I have added 2 records from the collection. Okay, and these records should appear here. And then we'll build the form to add records from here itself. So you see, these are the 2 nodes which are coming. If I go to some other task, these will not come because these only belongs to this particular task, and this is getting control from the parent-child relationship. That parent is showing the data of the child. You see here, there are no task nodes. Here, if you go to the previous one, then there will be 2 task nodes. Right. Now let's add a form to create new task. I'll go here. I'll say collection form, and I'll just drop it here. Which collection? Task node. Okay, event we will create in a while, and then that's all. So it is asking 2 things: the description, or basically let's say the node for the task, and then basically for which task it is. So since we already have the task, we are already in the task detail page, so this we will send as a hidden field, right? So to send it as a hidden field, what we do? Go to the component, look for a input field component. So we need to pass the ID of that particular task as a hidden field. So I'll just copy the name so that we use the same name. So it's the task. Okay, so I'll go here, paste it, task, get content, basically get content from task, and then choose the ID of that particular task. So we are saying whatever the task details is, we are take the ID of that particular task and pass it as a hidden field. Right, and I can hide this, but for now I'll just show you how this looks like. So this is the UUID of this particular task. So if you create a node for this task, it will get attached to this task. If you are on another page, it will take the UUID of that other task. So as of now, it starts with 2.5 and ending with 5D3. If you go to other tasks, it will be different. It will be for that particular task. So this is not starting with 25, it's starting with 15 to 1622. This is 1622. So this basically goes as a hidden field so that each task node gets associated to its respective task, right? And then we will hide this. So I'll just hide it so that we don't see it while commenting. So I'll say hidden. That's all. Instead of submit, I'll just rename it to, let's say, add note. That's all. Probably we can move this form downwards. Okay, so I'll just move this table. Let me go to the layer manager and see. So this is a collection as a row. Okay, so I'll just duplicate this column. Okay, remove the data table. And in another column, we will put the form. Okay, so that's it. So now we have two columns in a row, and one column as a table, other as a collection form. Okay, so this is it. Now I'll go and reload the page. So we have created a table where we are displaying all the nodes. We have created a form which will add a new node. Now we need to add an event to this node so that whenever a new node gets added, it should automatically get appended. Okay, so I'll go to my events. I'll create an event. Add new task node. Okay, I'll do collection save data. In which collection? Task node collection. Okay, task node added successfully, some error. Okay, and that's all. So first we'll save the data. Then what we'll do, we'll refresh the table. Okay, so we'll say whatever the node we have added, just show it in the table. So for that, what we'll do, we'll go to the navigation and say refresh section. Which page? Task details page. Which component? Table. And basically append in the end. So basically from the bottom. Right? Beginning will append from the top. And I'll just save. That's all. I'll go back to my page. Task details page. I'll go to the collection form and bind the event which we have just created. Add new task node. That's all. Okay. So now this will add a new node, show us a success message, and then append that node to the parent. Okay, so I'll just reduce some margin because this is too much. So let's say I'll add 10, 10, and okay, that's all. I'll go and reload the page. You can also remove border if you want. Okay, they have some border. All these are like cosmetic UI changes. Yeah, so this is here. Now I'll want to add a new node to this. Task node 333 and add node. So this has added a node, shown the message, and you see the node is here. Right. Let's say I don't need this edit delete button. I can just delete them. Probably we can build some different layout for that. So these are the task nodes which are getting added. Okay, so let's add one more. Let's say task 444. So it is here. It's got added. Let's go to some other task and add nodes to it. So I'll go to another task. And let's say task node for 111. Okay. So you see it is adding node for that particular task. I am not seeing the other nodes, right? Because those were created for some other task. If I go to the collection, the task node, there should be 5, 4 for one task and 1 for another task. So here you see these are the 5 nodes which we just created. These are the description and these are for the task. Okay. Now let's say we want to display it in some other UI. We want to display that who created it, at what time it created, and basically the description. So for that we can use data group. So if you just want to understand how this functionality works, this is good for now. Okay, I'm just adding a extended capability where we display it in form of data group, and we probably do it with the external filter. So let's see how to do it. So now let's go to the page and do it through data group. So let's say instead of this UI, I want maybe a bit different UI. I want a type of card. Okay, so that you can show it in an actual comments UI. So for that, what I'll do, I'll just delete the data table. Okay, and now I'll drop a data group component. Drop a data group. Same thing, I'll say get data from task field. Which field? Task nodes field. So it will bring me all the properties of the task node. I'll just remove this, and this is probably some card. But if you want, you can use a different UI. So we have a lot of different good cards. So you can just drag and drop whichever you like. So let's say like this one, I can just drag and drop this one or this one. Let's say I want to use some UI like this. I can just drag and drop and use this particular layout. Okay, for now, I'll just use the simple one which we have created. So let's say here I want to show the description of the task. So I'll say get data from task node. Same thing. Task description. Okay, now let's say I want to say that who created it, right? So I'll say in the task created by field, capture the full name of created by person, right? So everyone has a user has a full name, so I'm just showing that. And here probably I want to show the created field, like basically at what time it got created. So as of now, I'll show created at, but if you want to show it in a basically beautified form, you can create a drive field for it and show that particular format which you like. Okay, so now I'll reload the page. So instead of data table, it will now show me cards. Okay, with who created it, at what time it created, and all those things. So here you see description, what time, who created it. Okay, so here we are not seeing who created it because this we created from the builder, right? But here you see it is showing me that who created it. Obviously you can beautify it. So let's say if I want to add some margin, padding and all those things, so that I can add. I can, let's say, margin top 5 pixels, so that each card will have some space from other card. If you want to show it in the latest first order, that you can also do. Okay, now one thing will not work, that we will have to update this event. Instead of basically we were refreshing the data table. Instead of refreshing the data table, now we will have to refresh the data group. Okay, so I'll go back to my event again, add new task node. I'll just client add new task node. Okay, instead of refresh section, I don't think refresh section works for data group. Okay, so it is working for data group. Same thing and. So I just, instead of data table, I've just changed it to data group. So I'll go to the collection form and bind the new event which we have just created, which is add a new task node, right? So this will basically refresh the data group. So I remove this padding, but I think since it is open in 2 different browsers, so it has not changed. Let's say reload the page and add one more task node. So let's say task node 555. I'll add, save. So refresh doesn't work in data group, so I think we'll add it sometime. For now, what I'll do, I'll just reload the data group again, or basically reload the page again. So I'll go to the event. So refresh section works only for data table. It doesn't work for data group as of now. Probably sometime it will work. So I'll just go and delete it. Okay. And I'll say in the navigation refresh section, I'll say task detail page, refresh data group. So basically it refreshes the complete data. It does not append or prepend. It just refreshes the whole data group, right? So I just added one more comment, test success, and it is here. So basically this way you can have a capability where you build a form. You can basically make it a one-line form if you want. You add the data gets appended to the parent task, and then you display all in the form of data table or data group, and then you can beautify this as you want. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you again in the next video. Bye bye.